Good morning. I was just sitting here cleaning up my workshop, and I was finishing this piece that I've done over the course of several different lives, and I've got a bit in my YouTube blog on how to put this all together. And it occurred to me that I don't know that I've shared with you that you can use your paste as paint. So I thought I'd turn on the camera and I would show you how easy it is. If you don't have a color or you're trying to match something that's on your project, just turn this into paint. Let's show you. So all you need to do is take a little container, paint tray, whatever you've got handy, and scoop out a little bit of your paste right out of your container, and little spritz of water. You can decide how much water. You can water it down as much or as little as you like, depending on how thick you like your paint or how much coverage you need. And then just mix it. Mix, 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 and you have yourself some paint, and it will dry like paint. And if you are painting with it on a chalkboard or on a wooden surface, it will wash off just like your chalk does, which makes it that much more fabulous. So just mix out all of those lumps. And I love these little paint spatulas. They are fabulous. They're flexible enough that I can put a little bit of pressure and work out all of those little lumps. And there you have it, a smooth, nice paint consistency. I'm going to use my little paint brush here, and I will show you how I'm going to paint on my project to finish this up using a coordinating color. Okay, so we made this project on a Facebook Live, and I'll try and link that for you so you can go back and see the whole thing. And I chalked my gnome design on this foam board, which, if I turn it, you can see gives it a little bit of dimension, but I really don't like the way this white is looking against the edge of my project. So I am going to use my little craft brush and some of that paste, which coordinates with my snowflakes and with the color on my gnome. And I'm just going to paint the edge of him very carefully. I should have done this beforehand, before I glued him on. But anyway, he's glued on now. So I'm just going to very carefully paint the edge using my paste so that that white foam board disappears. And I have to be very careful. But the nice thing is that if I do happen to get some paint, like I just did there on my actual board, it will wipe right up because it's chalk paste. So I can just use a Q-tip and I can pick up that little mistake quickety split. Q-tips are super fantastic for cleaning up mistakes. And I've just sprayed this one so that the end is wet. And I'm just going to go right in there and pick up that paste that I got on my paint, and it will wipe right off. And my mistake will be corrected. And I'm just going to keep one of these handy as I go and I paint that whole edge of the gnome all the way up my project. All right, I am not a bow expert by any means, but I will take you along and show you how I am going to create just a little simple bow for this door hanger that we're making. So this is not wired ribbon. I prefer to work with wired ribbon, but I love, 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 love the blue and the burlap together. It totally matches. So I just am taking, this end is all frayed, so I don't want to waste it. I'm just going to turn it inside and create that little pocket loop there that's going to be the center of my bow. So I'm holding that with my thumb, and in a second I'm going to tie it with this piece of string. But I'm going to do 4 loops. So I'm going to hold this tight with my hand, and I'm going to make my first loop as big as I want it to be. And then I'm grabbing that material again. So now it's all tucked in there in my fingers. And so I'm going to make my second loop over here, just try and match this size. And then same thing, I'm scrunching it all together. So I'm holding it with my thumb in the center. And I'm just going to repeat that again, getting the ribbon going in the right direction. It's kind of got a wrinkle in it here, so it's folded over a bit. So get my loops to the size that I want. So all of that material is on the back side, and I'm just scrunching it together and holding it with my thumb. Last loop. And so making the back ones a little bit bigger than the front ones. So that's how that looks right now. And I'm going to tie this piece of string. All right, so there is my bow, and I'm going to take, this is just a piece of string. You could use pipe cleaner, you could use zip ties. It probably would be easier to use either of those things, but I can't let go with my thumb. I got to get my little string pulled through here, and then I'm going to go around to the back side, and I'm going to pull it all together, and I'm going to tie a knot, and hopefully it works. Like I said, not a bow expert at all. Yeah, zip ties or pipe cleaners would definitely work, because then you would not have to fuss with making this knot. But let's see how we did. I'm just going to tie it once. So that doesn't look too badly for me. I like the way that center little piece is there, and then you can still fuss with this and glue and staple so you get the loops going in the right direction. I'm going to double knot that, and I'm going to pull my board and get my glue gun ready, and I'll show you how I put it together. Okay, so I double knotted that so that it's good and tight. I'm going to snip this, and I'm going to cut this really short too, because I might put a tail on this. I'm not sure until I get it laid out. So we'll see, but I'm going to snip that extra string, and I'm going to snip this really close so that I can get it attached. And I can sort of see what I'm working with here. So like I said, I didn't want a huge bow, and I'm going to spread these these loops. I'm going to attach in the center, and I'm going to spread these loops out and use my glue gun and my staple gun to get that exactly where I want it. But I do think that I want a little tail. Let's just play with it. So I'm going to make a tail using my extra ribbon. I just do it simple. I don't know how others do it, but I just fold it like this, and I'm going to tuck it underneath so that it just makes a little tail. And then I'll snip the ends in a second. So put this up underneath there, and that's going to go right on top like that. And that's how I think I'm going to put it all together. There you have it. He's all hung on the door, and it looks absolutely perfect there. The bow looks great, all the snowflakes, and my little gnome is now going to welcome visitors to our front door. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.